People. You really supporting Bernie Sanders? I'm trying to make sense of it. Let's talk about it. What's going on, folks? It's your boy Javier Javier with the Javier Javier Show. Welcome to the Hobby Lobby. Make sure you say that name twice. People, please explain to me. Please explain to me. Why y'all supporting Bernie Sanders of all people? Bernie Sanders calls himself a democratic socialist. What's the difference between a democratic socialist and a socialist? For some reason, I can't get a straight answer from nobody. Maybe I had one person tell me that it's not really socialism, it's better capitalism. Okay, so why use the word socialist? And they admitted, you're right, we should get rid of the word. You should get rid of the word. The simple fact is, Bernie Sanders doesn't even know how to support his own plan. He don't even know how he gonna pay for a lot of this stuff. Bernie Sanders is telling y'all he gonna do this and he gonna do that, he gonna do this. Free college, free healthcare, the millionaires and the billionaires. But what I don't understand is, for one, we don't know how he gonna pay for all this. For two, Bernie Sanders ain't never ran nothing legitimate in his life. Bernie Sanders ain't never ran a business. He ain't never benefited the country in no real fashion. Bernie Sanders has not provided any services to people that really benefited anybody. Bernie Sanders has been in Washington his whole life. He's literally a millionaire with 3 homes. How is he a socialist or a democratic socialist? How is he raving against the billionaires? It used to be millionaires, billionaires, but now it's just the billionaires. Like, how, Sway? Please explain this to me, because I'm a little confused. What I don't get is, first of all, Bernie is pretty old. And most presidents are, be kind of old. Not all of them, but most of the candidates are pretty up there. But Bernie Sanders just had a heart attack. He literally just had a heart attack. You really putting your chips in for this guy? Bernie Sanders isn't that honest. A lot of people think Bernie Sanders is very, very honest. He's not honest. Bernie Sanders' wife is caught up in some little scam. Let's talk about it. Ask me why journalists don't ask Bernie Sanders any real questions. Please explain to me why they never really hit him home. Explain to me how you made $1 million working in Washington. Explain to me how you got 3 homes, yo. Please explain this to me. I hear the supporters always talking about free college and free education and free healthcare. Look, I'm not buying that. You're not finna raise my taxes. Yo, some people don't even use healthcare. Like, there are literally years go by where people don't need that crap. Especially when you young. You telling me I gotta pay for something. Look, I'm all for taking care of the old folks and taking care of the disabled and taking care of people who have mental problems that they can't function properly in society. We should take care of the less fortunate. But for those people who have able-bodied, those people who know how to work and can work, should work and pay for their own benefits. Or choose not to. What happened to it being a free country? How you gonna start taxing everybody to pay for stuff that everybody may not even want? Maybe everybody don't even agree with the type of education you're trying to provide or the type of healthcare you're trying to provide. I mean, we gotta get over this whole idea about abortions. We gotta get over this idea about trans surgeries. There's so many things that fall under healthcare. We don't even know what you include in this plan. Are you gonna cover any and everything that people want to go get covered for? What are you willing to pay a price that doctors and nurses and people are not willing to work for? What happens to all the insurance companies that go out of business because you take over the business? Like, what happened to a free market system? Now, a lot of y'all think that, oh, we get free healthcare and free education. What happens when the next guy get in there and he wants to start tweaking things a little bit here and there, a little bit here and there. And next thing you know, you can't get the healthcare services that you wanted to begin with. Now you stuck. You ain't got nowhere to go. You ain't got no alternatives. You ain't got no competition. People not even fighting for your money anymore. We all know what happens with that. People got to educate themselves, understand history, understand a lot of these communist countries and a lot of these socialist countries and how things end up in the long term. When you start giving all this power to the government, you start allowing the government to control your healthcare, control your education, control what side of the street you can drive on. Eventually, they're going to be in your house telling you what food you can eat. Best believe that. Because I guarantee you, you let them get health care, then the price is going to keep going up. People going to start going to the doctor more and more and going to the emergency room more and more because they can. Then what's the next conversation? Well, we need to figure out why people going to the doctor so much and all that. Maybe they're not eating right. So maybe we should start restricting what people can eat. Therefore, we can save money on people visiting the doctor and the emergency room. We don't know. I'm not saying it's going there, but you don't know how these things go. A lot of these things progress. One thing about a progressive, they must be progressing. Now, there are some moderate liberals and progressives out there. Majority of them, I really don't think they buy this socialist crap. They really don't. But pick up a history book. Learn what it's like when you give the government too much power, and then they start tweaking here and there. Or you can't have this kind of gun. You can't have this kind of magazine. You're going to wake up one day and the government going to run everything in your life. The government is going to control and dictate how you can raise your kids. They already been doing it, and they doing it even more and more now. The government might end up start telling you how many kids you can have. I mean, they're already for abortions out of the, because that's a whole nother subject. But what's next? You don't know what's next. You keep giving them more and more and more power. You keep giving them that power. I guarantee you it's eventually they're going to turn around and use that same power on you. I tell conservatives all the time, Donald Trump ain't going to be president forever. Be very careful what you allow Donald Trump to get away with, and be very careful what you allow Donald Trump to extend his power to. Because the next person is going to come and utilize those same things, and this time it ain't going to be in your benefit. So, I say this all to say, why the hell are y'all supporting Bernie Sanders? He talks a good game. It sounds good. But I don't really think you want to see the application. So, I'm sorry if I went on a little rant. Forgive me. My dog back here, and she kind of like moving around like, oh, you going in? Are you yelling at me? I'm not yelling at her. But like, please explain to me, man. The Bernie supporters out there, the Bernie bros, holla at your boy, man. Please explain to me why y'all support Bernie Sanders. Because I'm missing it. I'm really, really, really missing it. Now, I know some of y'all are going to come out and say, you misunderstand everything. You completely mischaracterizing what Bernie stands for and what he supports. I'm only telling you what I'm seeing and from what I'm understanding based on history and, understanding how economies work from my limited understanding. But to me, it seems crazy. I'm not getting it. So, history teaches me a different lesson. So, please join the Hobby Lobby. Tell me what your thoughts is. Let's have this discussion. Because if I'm wrong about something, I'd rather be wrong about it. And then you can tell me I'm wrong about it, and I'll change my stance on it. I mean, I'm very willing to change my mind on a lot of different things. But right now, I just don't get it. I just don't understand why y'all support Bernie. But, hit that subscribe button. You came, you heard, you saw. Now run. Tell them I said it. If they ask me by name, make sure you say it twice. This is the Javier Javier Show.